Ready for a deep dive that'll really get you thinking?
Always up for a good mystery, especially when it delves into these big questions about life and what might be waiting on the other side.
Then buckle up, because today we're going deep into the extraordinary experiences of La Gorda Fabiola, a beloved Colombian actress. You might know her for her humor, her energy, that vibrant personality,
Oh, absolutely, a true icon.
but her story takes us way beyond the stage and right to the edge of existence. We're talking about multiple near-death experiences, and we're diving deep into transcripts from a recent interview where she recounts it all.
And trust me, these aren't your typical I saw a light kind of stories. We're talking profound, unsettling, the kind of stuff that really makes you question everything you thought you knew.
Exactly. So let's set the scene. Fabiola's health journey has been, well, complicated, to say the least. We're talking dramatic weight loss after bariatric surgery. She went from 147 kilograms down to 90 kilograms.
Wow, that's a huge change.
It is. And then, on top of that, she faces a series of intense health challenges, including multiple heart attacks.
It's amazing she was able to keep going through all of that.
She's a fighter, that's for sure. But it's actually during her recovery from open heart surgery that things take this incredible turn, this turn toward the unexplainable. So picture this. She's just come out of surgery, hooked up to all these machines, in pain. The whole post-op scenario. And it's in this incredibly vulnerable state that she starts experiencing things that defy logic, things that modern medicine just can't explain.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, so first, she hears the comforting voice of her deceased mother.
Okay, that's a little eerie, but I've heard of that happening before.
Yeah, but then it gets even stranger. She then describes witnessing this mesmerizing ballet of lights in her room, even though there's absolute no source, no explanation for the lights.
Now that's intriguing. It reminds me of what some researchers call veridical perception, where people who've had near-death experiences report accurately perceiving events happening around them while they're supposedly unconscious. It's like their consciousness is operating separately from their body.
Right. It really makes you think about consciousness in a whole new way, doesn't it?
Right.
But if the lights and the voice weren't enough, Fabiola then has this truly bizarre encounter, this time with a visitor at the hospital.
Okay, now I'm really curious.
So an older woman from a distant village, someone no one seems to know, shows up at the hospital, completely insistent that she has a message to deliver, but only to Fabiola.
Hold on, only to Fabiola. Like she sought her out specifically.
Specifically. Imagine being the hospital staff trying to make sense of that.
I can only imagine. So what was this message about?
The woman delivers a warning about Fabiola's digestive system, something the doctors, with all their tests and scans, had completely missed.
Yeah, that's unsettling. And this is after open heart surgery, right? You'd think the heart would be the main concern.
Exactly. But as it turns out, this seemingly random warning from, who knows where, it turns out to be incredibly important, more critical than anyone could have imagined at the time. It's like someone or something knew what was coming.
Right. It's hard to explain that kind of thing as just pure coincidence.
Totally. But hold on tight, because this is just the beginning of Fabiola's journey, and it gets, well, even wilder from here. So she pulls through those digestive complications, but the extreme weight loss, remember, she lost over 150 kilograms.
Yeah, that's a massive amount of weight to lose in a short period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It leads to another severe health crisis, this time a protein deficiency. And we're not talking about needing a protein shake after the gym here. This deficiency was so severe it caused organ failure.
Oh, wow. So she went from one life-threatening situation straight into another.
Straight into another. And this one lands her in a coma that lasts for 25 days.
25 days. That's a long time.
A long time to be in that state of unconsciousness. And it's during this extended coma that Fabiola experiences what she describes as the underworld.
The underworld. That sounds intense. Was it like the typical peaceful, light-filled near-death experience you sometimes hear about?
Not even close. Instead of that ethereal beauty, that sense of peace, Fabiola describes a suffocating darkness, a heavy, oppressive feeling that's deeply unsettling, deeply disturbing even.
That's a stark contrast to what we often hear.
It really is. And to make matters worse, it's not just darkness. She describes being confronted by this menacing figure, this being that torments her, using her loved ones against her in the cruelest ways imaginable.
So not only is she trapped in this oppressive darkness, but she's also experiencing psychological torment on top of that.
And then, to make it even more terrifying, she starts hearing the anguished cries of other souls. She describes them as trapped in this darkness as well, their pain echoing all around her. It's like a vision of hell. really challenges the traditional ideas about what an afterlife might be.
It definitely goes against the grain. It does make you wonder, though, what if these experiences, even the scary ones, offer a glimpse into a different dimension of reality, a realm where our actions in this life have consequences we can't even begin to fathom?
It's a lot to take in, for sure. And within this darkness, this torment, Fabiola's experience takes yet another turn.
Another turn. What happens?
She describes reaching this breaking point where she cries out to a higher power. But it's not a desperate plea for help, not a negotiation to escape the darkness. It's more of a surrender. She talks about feeling this profound acceptance, this responsibility for any wrongdoings in our life.
It's a moment of reckoning, a moment of truth.
It really is. And while this is happening back in the hospital room, after 25 days with no change, her family makes the heartbreaking decision to take her off life support. They gather, they pray, preparing for the inevitable. And that's when the truly unexpected happens.
Don't tell me. She wakes up.
She wakes up. Right then, as they're preparing to say goodbye, Fabiola opens her eyes.
The timing of that is unbelievable. But after being in a coma for 25 days, I imagine her recovery must have been a long and difficult process.
You would think, but that's the other remarkable thing. Medically speaking, her recovery makes no sense. It's almost as miraculous as her waking up in the first place. She starts breathing on her own, her organs start functioning again, all seemingly out of nowhere.
I'm guessing the doctors were baffled.
To say the least. The best explanation they could offer was, and I'm quoting here, it restarted on its own.
Wow. That's medicine for we have no idea. For those who are open to the possibility of something beyond what we can explain scientifically, it makes you wonder if this was a moment of divine invention, a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome even the most impossible odds.
And it wasn't just a physical recovery either. This entire experience, this brush with death, it completely transforms Fabiola's outlook on life, her entire perspective.
In what way?
She talks about feeling this overwhelming sense of gratitude, this appreciation for every breath, every moment. There's also this deepened connection to spirituality, this shift in priorities that wasn't there before.
It's like she went through a crash course on what truly matters in life. You know, it's a common theme in near-death experiences, this newfound appreciation for life, the sense of purpose. It's as if facing death awakens something within us, clarifies what's truly important.
It's like her perception of reality itself shifted, revealing this deeper layer of understanding, of connection that she wasn't privy to before. But this shift came with some unexpected side effects, some lingering effects that are, well, let's just say they're not your everyday occurrences.
Like what? What kind of side effects?
Well, Fabiola describes developing this uncanny ability to sense when people are close to death. Like she can feel it, sense it around certain people.
That's both incredible and a little bit frightening, wouldn't you say?
It is.
Yeah.
And she even shares a story about a colleague's father. She met him, and even though he seemed to be in good health, recovering well from an illness, Fabiola just knew, she felt it, that he was going to die.
And
she was right. He passed away shortly after.
that's quite an ability. And it makes you wonder, what's going on there? Is it heightened intuition? A sensitivity to energy that most people aren't aware of?
It makes you question everything we think we know about perception, about the limits of consciousness, doesn't it?
It does. It's like these near-death experiences, they crack open the door to these other realms of possibility, these mysteries of human consciousness that we're just beginning to explore. It makes you wonder what else might be out there, what other abilities we might be capable of if we could only tap into them.
It really does make you wonder if we're just scratching the surface when it comes to understanding the full potential of human consciousness.
I think so, especially after hearing experiences like Fabiola's.
And it's not just about sensing death either. She talks about having heightened intuition now, a deeper understanding of energy. And she sees synchronicities everywhere, those meaningful coincidences that she might have dismissed before.
Like she's tuned into a frequency most of us are oblivious to.
Exactly. It's like those near-death experiences, they were like peeling back a layer of reality, revealing this interconnectedness that was always there, but she just couldn't see it before.
It's a powerful reminder that there's so much more to life, to reality itself, than what we perceive with our five senses.
So much more.
Yeah.
But with all the strangeness, all the challenges she went through, her message isn't one of fear or doom and gloom, is it?
Not at all. If anything, she comes out of these experiences with this incredible sense of hope.
She does. She talks about heaven and hell, not as literal places, but as states of being.
Right. States of being that we create through our choices, our actions, our intentions, how we treat others, all of it.
So it's less about a judgment day somewhere down the line and more about the consequences of our actions echoing throughout our existence, both here and in the afterlife.
Exactly. It's like those ripples in a pond. They keep expanding outward long after the initial drop of water. Our actions have that same ripple effect, impacting not just ourselves, but the world around us, even beyond our physical existence in this life.
Wow, that's a powerful image, those ripples of consequence. Makes you really stop and think about the weight of our choices, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It makes you consider the energy you bring to your interactions, the compassion you show or don't show to others. Are you adding more light to the world or more darkness? Are your actions creating positive ripples or negative ones?
It's a call to awareness, a call to responsibility for sure, but also a call to embrace the beauty and the potential of this life, of this moment, because who knows what mysteries await us on the other side.
Exactly. Live with intention, with kindness, with awareness. That's a message worth carrying with us.
Couldn't agree more. It's certainly given me a lot to think about, and I hope it's done the same for you. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep those deep dives going.